Hey everybody, it's Wootini from GayGamer.net. Welcome to another one of my video podcasts. This week I went to a party at my friend's house. He was having a house rewarming party to celebrate having it all to himself, having gotten rid of his roommate. So we played some games there. We played some Dance Central, which was awesome because he actually has enough space between his couch and his TV to have the Kinect set up, and you can dance right in front of the TV, which I cannot because my apartment is a little bit narrow in the living room area. And then there was some lips playing, and then there was some rock band, but once they broke out the rock band, I actually ended up in the kitchen, and then I ended up shutting the door, so that, because they were kind of butchering No Doubt, and it was kind of painful to listen to, because by that point it was like, whatever, like 2 in the morning, and everybody was drunk, and I mean, drunk rock band can be pretty funny, but it can also be enough to make your ears bleed. So, but I also played some games on my own, in my house. I want to thank Rosa for the comment on my last video podcast, suggesting that if I want more momentum in Dragon Age, to not do the elves first, but to do a couple other things first. Unfortunately, that comment was made after I'd already gone to the elves, so, but I also pulled another game off of my shelf of unfinished games, which was Lego Harry Potter, which was something that my boyfriend had bought back when it first came out, however, whenever that was, like a year or so ago, and he thought it would be fun to play together, and it is fun to play two-player Lego games. I think we'd played some Star Wars, or Batman, together, so he thought, oh, it's Harry Potter, this will be fun. The problem is that I feel like the Lego Harry Potter game is slightly more complicated than Batman or Star Wars, where you just kind of run around smashing everything, and it's kind of just one button, with an occasional other button. But with Lego Harry Potter, you know, you have to switch between spells, and you have to use certain spells on certain objects in order to do certain things, in order to progress through the level. So, I mean, it's not that it's hard, it's just that it's not as much just brainless fun. It's just not just racing through the level, smashing everything in sight, and collecting all the Lego pieces. So he would get frustrated because he wouldn't know what to do, and I would get frustrated trying to explain to him what to do, and the whole thing was just not good, and we ended up just putting it aside. And I think I played a little bit afterwards on my own, but then I felt guilty, and I was justifying it by saying, oh, well, I'll play through a level by myself, that way when we go to play through it together, I'll know what we need to do, and it'll be a little bit easier. But then I felt guilty for playing it by myself, because of course we never ended up playing it together. But I saw it on the shelf, and I thought, I love Lego games, let me try this again. So I put it in, and it's still kind of complicated, and I do miss just smashing everything in sight and getting all the Lego pieces, because every level I play, I never get anywhere. I get like maybe 75% tops. Usually it's about 50% on that, you know, the little scale. I forget what they call it in Harry Potter. It's like, you know, pure wizard or something like that, or something, and I can't collect enough of those pieces. So clearly there's more stuff I need to be destroying. I just don't know what it is. But then sometimes you're not destroying it, sometimes you're using your magic spells on it, and that just, it's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So, I guess maybe I'll have to go back in free play and try to do all that, but that's just irritating. But I remember in Batman, Lego Batman, I was able to pretty much get that in like 95% of the levels on my first playthrough. Whatever. The other thing that I wanted to talk about this week is sort of video game related, as it turns out, and that is I'm sure you all heard about the whole Netflix restructuring disaster. Well, I think it's a disaster. Just personally, I've been a member of Netflix since, like, when they first started. Like, I was one of their very first customers, I feel like. I heard about it, somebody recommended it, I thought, oh, this is great. I was doing it when they had so few distribution centers. You would actually send in your movie, and it would take, like, 3 or 4 days to get a replacement movie. And then it became popular. Then they opened up a place like right nearby, so I would get my movies in a day, which was amazing. But now they've decided that streaming is the wave of the future, and I have no problem with streaming. I can do it on my Xbox, I can do it on my Wii, I can do it on my PS3, I can do it on my laptop, I can even do it on my phone. You know, like, streaming is great. The problem is the selection is less than great. And if you want new releases, you need to get those on DVD or Blu-ray. And therefore, I would always still rent DVDs and Blu-rays. The problem is that they're now separating that into a separate thing called Quickster. So now I have to maintain 2 accounts, which isn't a problem to have 2 accounts, it's just that I have to go to 2 separate websites and maintain 2 separate lists, and it's kind of irritating to have to do that. The one thing I think that might make it okay is that they're going to be adding games to the Quickster side of things, so we'll see how much extra it is for games. I'm already paying an extra $5 so that I can get Blu-rays. And in fact, I might end up dropping Blu-rays and adding games. If it's $5 for games, I might just swap that. I don't know. I don't know what the pricing is going to be like. But the idea of being able to rent a game would be pretty awesome. Because I never joined Gamefly because I thought about it at one point. I actually went to the website and looked at the pricing, and it just wasn't... It's not good for me because I take so long to finish a game that, like, I would pay so much money a month, and I'm like, it's not worth it to me because I would keep the game for so long. Like, with a movie, you can watch it and return it, and it's quick. It's a quick turnover. With the game, it takes me so long to play, I would have games for, like, months, and it's just ridiculous. So what's the point of that? So I ended up not joining Gamefly, but if I could pay, like, an extra $5 and then have, like, a movie and a game out at a time, you know, and I could cycle through the movies, I'd feel like I was getting my money's worth because I'm cycling through the movies, even if I ended up hanging on to a game for a little while. And I know that their plan is that they're separating them because they think streaming is the wave of the future, and that they can, this way they can just kind of let the DVDs die off and say, oh, well, there go, goodbye DVDs, sorry, and that way the DVDs will go out of business while their streaming will be taking off. But if they really want streaming to be the wave of the future, they've got to get a lot more titles and a lot more new releases. Hopefully they will. We'll see what happens, because, I mean, there's pretty much any electronic device that you can imagine can stream a Netflix movie at this point. It's kind of ridiculous. I can sit on the bus on the way home from work, start a movie. When I get home, I can turn on my Xbox or PS3 and finish it. It's just bizarre. What an age we're living in! Alright, so that's my rant about Netflix. We'll see how it all turns out in the end. And I will see you all back here next week. Bye!